Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Popeye Goose. This is going to be the first of a couple of live streams tonight, which could be a good thing if you like watching my videos. Could be a bad thing if you don't like getting spammed with notifications, or you just don't like the sound of my voice. So I apologize ahead of time. But what we're going to do today is, first video is going to be a customization, a review, and a speed test of the new Vapid Flash GT that came out today. So you know what, why don't I just pull up my phone, stop dicking around. So I've already bought the car. I have it wait in my garage just to kind of speed this up. What I'm going to do is break this up into either 2 or 3 shorter live streams. I'm also going to be purchasing the weenie, but we'll get into that in a sec. So here's the Vapid Flash GT. It costs basically 1.7 million. I'm assuming it's going to be a sports car, but I'm not sure yet. You know, as far as the traction, you see it's pretty much can't be beat. If it's going to be a sports car, I think it has the best traction out of really any car in the game so far. You know, just stock. The acceleration will be pretty decent. Obviously, once we get the turbo and the transmission up, that'll be pretty much 100%. And the top speed is just a shade over 4. So if it is a supercar, we'll go ahead and, if it's a sports car, we'll go ahead and see if it can compete with the prior. So since I've already ordered that one, I'm not going to go ahead and order it again. Just going to go ahead real quick and check out the Weenie Izzy that came out today, the classic. Alright, 360,000. It's probably not even worth that much in material. But basically that's a new one that came out. I don't really like the look of it. But I probably will get it because I'm sure they'll come out with some kind of race series for it or some kind of an event. You know, I guess it's, you know, pretty average as far as the acceleration and all that, but we'll go ahead and get into that. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and do a separate video on just that one. And I'm not really interested in buying the, let's see if it's under war stock, the new helicopter that came out. But why don't you guys let me know in the chat if you want to see me do a video with the helicopter as well. It's kind of weird that it's here because it is weaponized. So the Sea Sparrow, 1.8 million. You can land this thing on the water. It also has homing missiles, which are unlimited. And I don't know too much more about it. But let me know in the chat if you guys are feeling a video of me purchasing this and testing it out. Giving you guys some kind of idea of what to expect if you are thinking about buying it. Or just let me know if you've already bought it. You know, what your thoughts are on it. So, as I said, I've already bought the vehicle. I'm going to go ahead and order it, go check it out outside, take it for a quick little test drive, then I'll customize it, and then, you know, we'll go ahead and take it out for a little test drive again to see how it is with all the upgrades, and then I'm going to go ahead and race whatever class it is, whether it's a sports car or a supercar. You know, we'll go ahead and race it against the cars in that class just to kind of see where it fits in. I think I ordered it to this garage. Just give me a sec. There it is, Flash GT. Alright, so we'll head out, go and check that out. And like I said, I'll end up ending the stream after the speed test. I'll end up doing another live stream, probably a quicker one, with the Weenie Izzy Classic that just came out. And then depending on what your guys' feelings are in the chats, if you want to see me go ahead and purchase that Sea Sparrow, the new helicopter that came out, you know, then I guess I'll go ahead and do that. I just don't usually purchase the aircraft or the helicopters because I don't really use them much, so I don't really have a need for them. So here we go with the Flash GT. Looks pretty sharp right now. Looks like a rally car, even though it's you know, a GT. But I don't know. I kind of like the style of it. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of customizations for it. Let me actually just check something here. A car like this should be a Benny's car, but I'm not too sure if it will be. It would be nice if it was. Let me just check out to see. They need to release a new car for Benny's because this is pretty lame. These are the same damn cars for the longest time. But yeah, I just got home, spent some time with the family. No, nothing new. Ended up waiting for my girl and daughter to go to sleep. Started up the live stream. So while we go ahead and take this car for a little test drive, I just want to go ahead and remind you guys that once I get up to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be hosting a giveaway. I'm giving away $100, 2 $20 gift cards, 6 $10 gift cards. I'm at somewhere around 905 subscribers last time I checked. So probably within a couple weeks, I would say we'll be hitting that mark, and I'll be letting you guys know what kind of event I'm going to put together. And like I said, it should be pretty interesting. I'll definitely make the gameplay, exciting, and it's always good when people are giving out prizes. So if you know me, my stuff's legit. Come join me. Watch out on my channel for an announcement as to when that event will take place and exactly what I'll be doing, whether it'll be like a playlist or some kind of CEO challenge or a couple of other ideas that I have that I've been throwing around. So actually, I don't want to take this in yet. We'll go ahead and take it for a drive, but I do have one more quick thing I actually want to get out. Depending on how things go today, how long these live streams take, and depending on what kind of car duplication glitches out there. Oh, tough ass view. I may go ahead and do one of those as well. I got a couple people in line waiting. Want to give a shout out to DJ Jarrell, Money Girl Blaze, also Marvelous. You guys are the three that are next up. There is one going on right now, but you have to get a BMX bike in your facility. You have to do something with your Conjali and move it out of the facility and pull rabbits out of your hat. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I prefer to do the ones that are a little easier when I do a live stream. So I'm definitely got you guys in mind. I'm not going to leave you hanging. I know you guys spent a lot of money to get the Avenger in facility to be ready for it. And I'll make sure I go ahead and take care of you. Also want to give a shout out to, let me just stop for a second. I know the name's Cool Mist, but I want to make sure I get everything. So we got Cool Mist 611, which is the first member to join my new crew that I formed, called Goose and Associates. I ended up getting rid of the Trump Crime Organization. That was just kind of a joke in the beginning, and then I just ended up growing, so I never changed it. But yeah, so the new crew is Goose and Associates. If you guys want to join, it's open enrollment. Let's see, I didn't have my crew logo on this car yet, so I can't show you what it looks like. But pretty cool custom crew color. It's like a neon green. And I don't know, if you're interested, go ahead and join. And let's finish this out. So I'm going to go ahead and just check out some of these views as we drive the car back to Los Santos to go get it customized. I mean, the acceleration seems pretty good. The handling's really good. Top speed, can't really tell. It's a little deceiving in the beginning, depending on what you're going against on the streets. And these guys are just crawling, stopped at lights, so everything seems pretty fast. But yeah, I'm liking it. I'm thinking it's probably more like a sports car. Oh, I was trying to pull in here without fucking crashing. I just totally fucked that up. So yeah, let's go ahead and stop. Let's go get it customized. I'll try and go through it real quick. I'll do what I normally do, and I'll just go ahead and do the basic things first, as far as customizing, the engine and that, and then we'll go ahead and take it step by step through the customizations for the different parts on the car. So, of course, I got to repair the vehicle before I even come in. So armor, we'll go ahead and add that. Brakes, that's one of the things just to get through pretty quick, and then the customizations take a little bit of time just to go ahead and explain things. Lights, that's pretty quick. No clue what color I'm going to get yet, so I'll hold up, although I'll probably end up using the new crew color. Yeah, livery is going to take a while. Plate, go ahead and do that already. Yeah, this car's pretty low, so this thing's probably going to be pretty sick around turns, I would say, even though it's not one of the max speed for cars in its class. That acceleration and that traction is going to be pretty handy when it comes to racing. Definitely looking forward to testing it out. So the windows, I know those are going to be black. Alright, I have no clue what color I'm going to go with this car, whether I'm going to use the matte paint glitch or just a regular metallic, or I'll check on some of the liveries and see what the best one is, and try and figure out some kind of color combo for that. So first one up is front bumpers. Alright, and we got these. I don't like the splitters that much, to be honest with you. I prefer them almost like a stock bumper or something that's not too big. But I guess with this car you got to get something, so let's just go with secondary track splitter. Might as well, even though I don't really like it that much. Let's go with the hood. Probably should be some pretty cool designs for this one. I don't normally like the carbon, but I actually kind of like that because it's not just carbon, it's got kind of a checkered pattern to it. So I guess we'll see what the liveries look like. Yeah, I actually kind of like the stock one better because it has those vents up there. I think that's the one I'm going to go with. Actually, is this one longer? No, it's the same. Yeah, I'm going to go with the stock. So I guess I'm probably going to have to do something with the roof as well. Maybe that'll be the style of the car. So lights, I still have no clue. Livery, yeah, let's check this out real quick. Okay, that's kind of the basic black racing stripes. You got the black checkered flag right there. Alright. Depending on the color combo, that could be a contender there. I don't really like that zero gas. Every car, it's kind of the same livery like that. We'll just go through these real quick. So that one I could change the red on. So it would be white with the blue lettering. Yeah, I don't know how that really looks. That's actually pretty different right there. I mean, you could get a nice color combo for the top, possibly. Even my crew color could actually work with that. So let me think about that. Junk 21. Okay, it's one of the top ones. And that one would have whatever color I choose in between those stripes. So that could be actually a pretty good livery as well. It actually looks pretty nice just the way it is right there with the black and red. But I don't think I'm going to go black and red. I might get the junk. Let me see if there's any other ones. The black checkered flag and the stripes up top. Not that bad either. But you know what? Fuck it. Let's go ahead. Let's get the junk. And we could always change it after as well. So let me just go through the rest. What else do we have here? Roof. Probably going to get the carbon to match the hood. Let me take a drink here. For some reason after a certain time, my voice comes really raspy. And I'm getting annoyed of hearing it, so I could picture you guys would be annoyed of it as well. Okay, looks like I can't get the whole roof carbon. So I'm probably going to at least go with that one right there. Sun strips, let's check those out. I prefer one that was all black, but I guess I won't get that. We'll go with the Vapid Racing, why not? They signed me to a contract for a couple of years, gave me some free pizza. Least I could do is help them. So we got primary. I don't even know if I want one of these. It always ends up blocking the underglow. Yeah, we'll go with the carbon race car. Why not? What the hell? Spoiler. This should be interesting. Let's just go to the back one. I guess it looks alright. I don't like it normally on supercars. Kind of like more of a basic one. I don't know how I feel about just this regular wing right here. I think I'm going to go with just the black carbon. We'll take that. I'm trying to get through it as quick as possible. So just sometimes, you know, I just want to show you guys the different options there. Wheels is going to take a little while. So I guess we go to respray next. And you know, more and more I think about it, I don't know if I like that livery right there. But we'll just see. No, that doesn't look like it would work right there. Yeah, I don't know if I like that junk. I'm trying to think of what could go with that. Let's see if black would be alright. Why not just go carbon? Yeah, you know what? I guess I could always change it. But for this stream, just so I don't drag it out, I'm going to go with this look. I'm going to end up getting probably the ultra blue rims on it or black. We'll check it out and see how that looks. But I guess this is what we're going with right now. It's probably not my first choice, but I don't want to drag this out. What's up, Dusky Death? So yeah, we'll just go with the black carbon. We'll get the second color, something else other than red, that's for sure. Crew, no, that won't be good. So we'll go to metallic, and we'll see if we get like ultra blue or one of those colors to kind of match that livery. Or fluorescent blue. We'll see if that's even an option. I think that's only for the rims you can get fluorescent. Okay, so looks like the closest one's going to be ultra. Yeah, I guess ultra blue is what we'll go with. Trim color, make it stand out a little bit. Well, it's just a roll cage anyway. See what we got for blue. Probably same thing. Ultra blue will be the brightest one, so we'll take it. Roof, I already did all that. Skirt, spoiler. So wheel type, we'll go with, for this one, I don't know. I'm just gonna do it. These are my go-to rims just to get them done quick. I actually really like these rims right here. I use them on a lot of cars. They're SUV rims, but I just like them because you can you know, really make the car stand out or really change the color. Well, not the color of the car, but just the style of the car by making these rims a certain color just because they're so big. And I kind of like the style of them, the five spoke. Actually, let me see how black looks first. That's a little too plain. I think we're going to try and be a little loud. So when you see somebody racing and he goes off a jump and ends up crashing off the fucking side of the map and has to respawn, you know by his rims who it is. That might be too bright, but we're doing it. Why not? Get the atomics on there. Bulletproof. Tire smoke. There's not too many options for blue. We'll just take those, and I gotta do my underglow. And then I think we're pretty much done. I'll take it out for a little test drive, see how it feels with the new upgrades. Again, it's not, you know, not the best looking car. I'm gonna go ahead and change it at some point, but I don't want to spend too much time. I could spend half an hour in there trying to customize this thing, so I really don't want to do that. I've probably been streaming for half an hour as it is, and I want to make this one, you know, if I possibly can, under 45 minutes to an hour. We'll see how that is. I'm pretty bad at keeping on to deadlines. I'll go ahead and check the chat in a minute. Just let me get out of this friggin' garage so I don't end up sleeping in here. So electric blue, you can't even see it because that skirt on the bottom. We'll go with electric blue, why not? So let me just make a quick run through right here. I think I did everything. Yeah, we're out of here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take it around real quick. And we got Top Gamer. Yeah, at some point, jump in Top Gamer. At some point you can end up driving around, and I'll use the little cinematic views. Actually, this thing would look pretty sick at night. It actually doesn't look that bad, to be honest with you. I know the livery color and the rims don't really match, but, you know, I guess who the hell cares? Let's go ahead and take it out for a spin. Engine sounds pretty nice. It sounds like it's faster than it is. I mean, that was pretty nice handling right there, although I wasn't going top speed. I'm going to crash into this dude. The acceleration feels pretty good, but it feels like it's similar to the Tesseract. You know, when you hit that throttle. Yeah, my fault. I was just reading that message. When you hit the throttle, it takes a second, well, I don't know about a second or two, but maybe a second and a half before it actually seems to kick in, similar to the Tesseract. But the handling on this car, I think, is fucking, I mean, is pretty sick. It should be for, you know, what the speed stat says it is. It's pretty much maxed out. And that was before doing any kind of, you know, modifying the suspension or giving it a spoiler. So, you know, I'm not the best driver, but I feel like I can avoid a lot of shit. I feel like I can go ahead and take the turn. Yeah, okay, you can take the turn and still keep your acceleration. My bad, I'm just really trying to test it out. Let's do this other test. I don't know if it really makes any sense when I do it, but it's always just kind of a test to see how this car handles. Oh, my fault. I'm not supposed to crash into somebody. But usually it's a good indicator if the car is loose or if the car is tight when it turns. I'm going to smash into these guys unless I navigate. Nope. But I mean, it feels really tight. I have to actually move a good amount on the controller, right or left, for it to actually turn. And so far I haven't gone either fast enough or I haven't had enough room to try to do it fully to see if I'll actually, you know, how long it takes before I spin out. I can go ahead and try it now. No. Alright. But either way, this car does have great traction. The acceleration, like I said, is a little slow. Top speed, I guess I'll have to get it on a nice open road or just not drive like I'm 65. We'll go ahead and bang it around this turn real quick and see how it handles without hitting the car. Okay, I didn't guarantee I wouldn't hit the light post or something else. This should be good right here. There's not too many cars on this road. There's some bumps. We'll go ahead and see how it handles in the air. Alright, I wasn't expecting that red car. I didn't even see it. So yeah, we'll go ahead and take it out pretty soon. I'll start that up in about a minute. But I'm impressed with the car. It's 1.7. I just made an impression on that friggin' light. We'll go ahead and take it on the other side. It seems like to be less traffic over here. No, even more. I like the car, bro. You know what? Actually, let's do this. Before we go ahead and start the race, you get out. I'll get out. You drive. So again, I'm joined with Top Gamer Boss right now. He's gonna go ahead and take it out for a test spin. My thoughts on the car. You know, I guess we'll see how it handles on the top speed test. But I like the car. I mean, 1.7 could be a little expensive. Once you modify it, it's probably going to be somewhere up like 2.1. You know, somewhere in that area. This is a pretty good camera angle right here. So, it's actually nice having somebody else who can drive for me so I can actually do it without trying to drive, talk, and, you know, avoid cars, which I guess that doesn't really matter anyway, as you see right there. But I would recommend the car, you know, just for the simple fact that, you know, it handles like a beast. It's got great acceleration, you know, after the first second or so. And I'm pretty sure it's going to probably be, if it's a sports car, it's probably going to be the second best car in the class. You know, it's obviously going to be slower than the Prior. I'm going ahead and taking this one off-road a little bit, showing you the rally capabilities here. It's probably going to be the top two. I mean, I don't know as far as top two in speed. There might be another car in between this one and the Prior when we do the speed test. But I just like the simple fact that, I mean, it's got great acceleration and it's got great handling. So I guess I can live with losing a little bit of the top speed versus the Prior. Because personally, I know people that, you know, just cook everybody in the Prior. But I have some issues controlling the Prior. I think it's a little too loose for me. I do like loose cars sometimes. I would say a comment, but I know I got some subscribers that are under the age of 16, some of them 10, so I won't I won't say what I was going to say with that, but some of you older people that know me might know where I was about to get. But anyway, I like my cars loose to a certain point, you know, just so I have a lot of maneuverability around the turns. So I really like this car. As I said, I'm going to go ahead and test it out right now. And we'll do it on two of the speed courses that I have. One's a 0.63 mile course. The other one's pretty much exactly 1 mile course. They're the the races that I use, you know, to go ahead and test my cars out all the time. I feel that I feel like the timing that I get with these usually match up with the cars and the way that they perform in races. I know there's plenty of other people out there that do their own tests and have, you know, different ratings on certain cars. And only thing, oh, yeah, my fault. I should have paid attention when I actually drove it into Los Santos Customs, if it was a sports car or a supercar. So, you know what, let me go ahead and check the chat out right now, real quick. and see if there's anybody who could help me out if you know if this is a supercar or a sports car, so I don't have to go ahead and waste my time starting up a race for one or the other. What's up, Mr. I do it all the time, man. What's up, Mr. Don't Clickbait for the win. Appreciate you stopping by. Just doing a little live stream here on the new Flash GT that came out today. I'll also be doing some other ones today, most likely the Weenie Izzy Classic, and then possibly the new Sea Sparrow that came out, which is the new helicopter that lands on water. And I think after that, depending on how late these run, I'm either going to do a give cars to friends or car duplication glitch live stream, depending on if there's a second one that's out and not the one where you have to store the BMX in your facility, because that one's just going to get too complicated and take too much time. If there's another one out, I'll go ahead and do that, because like I said, I got some people that are waiting in line. If not, I'll probably go ahead and do a playlist or come up with some type of other event that I've been thinking about, to kind of change it up, keep things interesting for you guys out there. So I'm just going to go ahead and cross my fingers and hope it's a sports car. I think it would be. I wouldn't assume that car would be a supercar. So let me just get all this. It doesn't really matter actually what the hell, because I'm racing by myself. Alright, so first we're going to test this out probably like, I would say 2 times if it is a sports car. And then we'll go ahead and test it out against the Pariah and some of the other cars. And again, as I was mentioning, for anybody that's interested in joining my crew, that's my logo right there. That green color is the, the crew color. So you can get some pretty good combos for colors and cars and stuff like that. So it's just an option if you want that. Can I get something normal here so I don't look like I'm wearing pajamas? Alright, we'll probably, if it's in this class, we'll race the Pariah. We'll definitely race the Neon. We'll, oh, I forgot I got that one. We'll race some of the other ones if I could just get through all those LG Classics. I don't know why I have those. Alright, so yeah, it is a sports car, which makes sense. So this one's a 0.63 mile course. Whenever I race the Pariah, I think it is either mid 19 or like 18.9. We'll go ahead and check that out. It's the fastest car on this track by a good second and a half. So let's just go ahead and take this out, see what we get. Halfway through, I'll kind of probably try to swerving a little bit there. Probably be able to predict roughly what this thing feels like. It actually feels kind of slow right now, to be honest with you. I'm thinking it's going to finish with like 22.7 to 23.3 or 4. Alright. I guess I'm wrong. 22.095. Which is actually, let me see, not too bad. Compared to some of the supercars out there. I'm trying to figure out, that could be almost slightly slower than what the Wagner came in at. I think from the videos I did not too long ago, the Wagner came in at about 21.7. So I came in at 22.09, but that can't really be that car is as fast as Wagner. I don't know. We'll go ahead and see. I'm going to replay this. We're going to race it again. Usually the more times I race it, or if I race it a couple times, I usually get a quicker speed. So we'll go ahead and go on whichever one is obviously the fastest speed. And then I'll go ahead and race the Neon, one of the Comets, and the Pariah. And we'll go ahead and see how those stack up. But as of right now, that's at least 2 seconds slower than the Pariah, just, on a 0.63 miles straightaway. My fault. I don't know if you can hear me. Just taking a sip of my coffee. Go back to sports cars. So looks like I'm about to get some cheap wins here, unfortunately. Well, actually, I don't know, because if he has the Pariah and he goes ahead and races it, we'll see. But the reason why I say that is because no matter what I did, I couldn't get it so that first and second place was starting even with each other. So no matter what, second place is always going to start, like half a car length behind, which kind of sucks when you're trying to do a drag race, especially when it's this short. So that's why I usually prefer not to do these tests against other people, because it just ends up equaling cheap wins. I mean, I could use wins. You see right there, I'm only 175 and 574, so I got 400 more losses than I do wins. Speaking of losses and wins, shout out to Microwave Fish on our last live stream. Reached, I think it was 399 wins. So I don't know if he's going ahead and raced already to reach that 400, or hopefully, if he's going to be on tonight, hopefully we'll witness his 400th victory on a live stream during a playlist. But I guess we'll have to just wait and see. So the last one was 22.095. We'll try and see if we can beat that. I did swerve back and forth a little bit, but that usually doesn't matter. Maybe I can get a bit of speed burst here. Not really. Oh, actually feeling a little loose. On the street I felt like this thing was really tight, but now it feels somewhat loose. I just hope it's not loose enough to drive it off the edge, because I'm probably going to do that at least one time with the Prior. Alright, so that improved a little bit. Looked like 21.93. Okay, 21.902. So that's a pretty good increase there. I mean, it's nothing major, but enough to drop it down to the 21s, which is pretty respectable. I think that could be somewhere up, if I'm not mistaken, up near where the Outtouch was possibly, and even, you know, the X80, because they're a little slower than the Wagner, you know, just by a shade, not too much. Of course, we'll give that race a like, why not? So we're going to go ahead and race now with the Prior, the Neon, and the Comet, I think the Retro. And we'll go ahead and see the Prior is still going to be, I mean, probably the slowest it's going to get is 19.7, so that's already going to be 2 seconds faster than this one. But the Prior does not even have anywhere close to the traction as this car. So, yeah, if you're doing a drag race, or you're doing something like Plummet or Plummet 2 or some of those races, then, you know, it'll be a great car. But this car is probably going to be the more practical car, and you'll probably notice it beating, you know, Priors a lot more in races where there's turns or, you know, numerous laps, not just point to points. So I think I'll just go ahead and test it against the Prior right now, even though I know it's already 2 seconds faster, if not more. Yep. Marvelous. I remember you. Mario Newkirk. Love your vids. Appreciate the comment, man. I just actually mentioned you a little earlier in the start of the stream, saying that, you know, depending on how late these go, or if there's a new give cars to friends or a car duplication glitch that's out there that's a little easier than the one that I've seen, where you have to put the BMX bike inside your facility. You know, I'll go ahead and do a live stream of that, and I already said that you, DJ Jarrell, and Money Girl Blaze are the first 3 that are up on the list. So I haven't forgot you guys. I'll make sure I take care of you. It's just right now it seems to be a little I don't know, a little tricky with that glitch, the way to, you know, the steps are and the timing of it, or not the timing of it, the time it takes. So I'm probably not too interested to do the one that I actually saw a video on today, but if another one comes out either today or tomorrow, then I'm definitely down to do it, and I'll make sure that I got you guys first in line. So we're testing out the Prior. He's getting a little slipstream on me. It's maybe another reason why I don't like having other people race with me, just in case that kind of slows me down a little bit. I didn't really remember if I had ketchup on or off. We'll go ahead and see. Oh, that actually was just at 20. Oh no, 19.9. Okay, like I said, that's probably the slowest that it's going to run. So I kind of actually said that earlier. I think that's the slowest I've ever seen it run. I think it'll get down possibly to, you know, 19.7, which is by far the fastest car on this track for any class. But I'll go ahead and make sure that I don't have ketchup on, because when I was racing by myself, I didn't even think of changing those because it really didn't matter. But I know Slipstream was on. I'm just going to turn that stuff off just in case it has some kind of effect on my car. So I'm not going to drag this out anymore. Like I said, I'm just going to race each car probably twice. Well, not each car. I'm only going to pick a handful of the sports cars to race, just to kind of test where the car matches up. So you can see if maybe you already have a car that's about the same speed, maybe you're going to be losing a little bit of traction. You know, if you don't have the Flash GT, maybe it'll be, you know, a good way for you to figure out. Okay, catch-up's off. I'm going to turn that off. You know, maybe you don't have the money, or maybe money's tight and you really like the car, but you know, maybe you do have a car already in the, you know, the sports car class. If you don't have a Prior, or even if you do have a Prior, I mean, I know people that have the Prior and really don't like it for the same reason that I don't like it, because I think it handles like crap. So, you know, you might want an alternative for certain sports class races. So maybe this will let you know. I mean, maybe it's the same as the Neon as far as speed, and maybe you already have the Neon, and maybe the Neon is going to sacrifice a little bit of traction. You know, maybe it's a little quicker. I don't know, but at least you get some kind of idea if the car will be, you know, any use of to you for the 1.7. What's up, Randy Seiler in the chat? So far, Mario Newkirk, I would say so far I like the new Flash GT. I kind of like the car. I mean, you could really make it look nice, I think, between the liveries and the color if you go with something that you put some thought into, and, you know, not just me just picking whatever the hell looked nice at the moment. But I like the handling of it. Like I said, on the street it seemed a little different compared to racing it on the track. And, you know, the acceleration is pretty good after the first second. And the traction is just what I really like about it the most. So that should be quicker than 19.9. Unless I, you know, didn't get much of a speed burst at the beginning because I wasn't paying attention. Alright, so yeah, 19.78. Okay, that seems pretty reasonable. I think I might have gotten low 19, like 19.73 or something. So that seems somewhat reasonable with, you know, every time I've raced that car on the track. So it is by far the fastest car on a straightaway for the sports cars on this track, and it will also be on the 1 mile track, which I'll get to. I'll try to get to that as soon as possible here. I'm just going to go ahead and race a couple more cars in the sports car class on this track, and then I'll go ahead and race those same cars on the 1 mile track, and just so you can see, you know, which cars are faster on the short end and which ones are faster over time. Because, you know, it's actually kind of surprising. The Pariah is the fastest car on that specific track right there out of any car in the game. And then when you switch over to the 1 mile track, the Fistrate 11 is actually faster than any other car by almost 3 seconds on that 1 mile track. So all these tests that people do are kind of deceiving in a way. Depends on what you're specifically looking for. If you're looking to see which car is the fastest, you know, right off the gun, then you're going to try to do some kind of 10-second track or some kind of 10-second speed test. But the shortest track you can make is this one right here. That's why I specifically made it, you know, as short as I did. So I'm trying to do what I can to make things accurate. So my numbers could be different than some other people's numbers because you have to take into consideration the length of their track or, you know, the time. Because obviously numbers could be different for cars if you do a 10-second, you know, speed test versus doing, you know, this one, which takes, you know, anywhere from 19 to usually 23 depending on the car. And then the other one takes anywhere from 28 seconds to like 34 seconds on the 1 mile. So it just really all depends on what you're looking for. So the Prior we've already done twice. Let me see these other cars with decent speed. I might have to race the 770 because for a while it was... Oh man, I might have to race the Spectra too. For people that don't have any new cars. Let's just go ahead and check through here and see exactly which ones I need to do. Yep, because somebody else is in here, I have to... Is that even my Spectra custom? Yeah, it's gotta be, I think. Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead and race this one because I totally got sidetracked that when somebody else is in. No, this isn't mine. I don't even know if this is a custom or if it's just a generic custom. So we might have to just scrap this test right here. But it has blue friggin' rims on it. I don't think you would get a generic car with blue rims on it. So it has to be something I created. But why the hell would I put blue rims on it? Yeah, I don't even fucking care, to be honest with you. Yeah, that couldn't have been my custom car. I don't know how it had blue rims on it, though. It did say custom, but some of the stock cars in the game already have the custom on it, so. Let me see here. Yeah, no, if you guys have noticed, anytime I do these, I don't like racing other people when I do these. I prefer nobody else in there, so I'm actually probably going to give Top Gamer the heave-ho real quick. It's nothing personal, it's just when I'm trying to do a race, I don't, you know, I'm trying to test these out. I don't need other people to deal with. And I thought I turned Slipstream off. But it looked like Slipstream was on. I guess it is on. So yeah, Top Gamer, I'm going to have to go ahead and give you the heave-ho real quick. Nothing personal. In the beginning, you were kind of just chilling back. That's why I said I didn't want to race you, because I don't want to, you know, race you during this. Just kind of cheap wins. So, no hard feelings, man. It's just I'm doing the tests. I usually never have anybody in here with me, just like I never have anybody in with the chat. People are watching this just to, you know, get the information on the car, and I don't want to go ahead and drag things out. Let me just make sure I picked sports. Yes, I did. But I'm actually glad that he did that, because I totally forget that the Hot Ring Saber is a sports car. So I think we'll go ahead and race the what's it called? The Neon right now. If I can get to my custom cars. Yeah, that's not my Neon. How about I do this? I always get confused. Alright, we'll take this one for a spin. I didn't have enough time to get the car I wanted to last time, because obviously when you have more people in here, it puts a timer on, but I can take forever if I wanted to, and go ahead and compare cars back and forth, which I do sometimes. So again, that's another reason why I like to kind of do these on my own. What's up, Death Gun Live? Just popped in the chat. You guys are familiar with Death Gun. Go ahead and check out his channel. He does a lot of GTA videos as well. So he's a good guy, good supporter. He's popped in and helped me do a lot of videos with, you know, dupe glitches. He's also participated in some playlist challenges. So again, go check out Death Gun Live's channel. He's got some great content over there, some glitch videos, some live streams. Sound like I got a frog in my throat. But no, seriously, go check him out, man. He's a good dude. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. So we'll see what we got a time for that right there. I hope I was actually driving straight enough. So 21.5 we'll say. So that was about at least 0.4 faster than the Flash GT. So I guess we'll race that one again. I just want to check out the traction on it. It could be somewhat similar to that Flash GT. So I mean, if you have the Comet SR, you know, maybe you just go ahead and keep that one. And there might not necessarily be a need for you to get the Flash GT if you're kind of struggling with cash. Which I know a lot of people are. And I feel you. Some of the stuff is crazy expensive. And if you were to buy all three of the things that came out today, I think you have, what, 400,000 for the Weenie Izzy. You have like 1.7 for this one, so that's 2.1. And then you have the new seaplane that came out, which is 1.8 and change. So you're talking about roughly, what, $4 million for everything that came out. And then you have to obviously pay the upgrades as well. So I think, man, I feel like I've been on this track forever right now. So yeah, I want to check out the Neon and see what the traction is compared to the Flash GT, because the Neon is a little quicker. I mean, not much quicker. It's just, you know, basically half a second quicker. But again, it's only a 0.63 mile course, so fucking A, man. I did it. Wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention, so you know what? Why not just go ahead and do this? My fault, guys. I picked supercars instead of sports cars. Luckily, this is a quick little race. We'll just go ahead and show you here. Fastest, well, with the Tesseract now, the fastest supercar in the game. And it doesn't perform all that well on this course, just like the Tesseract, because, oh, I didn't even get a fucking turbo on that. Just like the Tesseract, it takes a little bit of time for the speed to kick in, or the acceleration to kick in. But on the 1 mile track, those are the two fastest cars. You know, they're all quicker than the prior. This one should be somewhere, I don't know, I didn't really get the speed burst. Normally this one's in the 20s. You know, usually like 20.7, 20.8 maybe. Probably maybe slower. Yeah, because I didn't even get a speed burst. So, it doesn't matter. That has no bearings on today's live stream. That's probably the slowest I've ever run with the 811 on that track. But that's for another video. So, I'll pay attention this time. I'll go ahead and pick sports cars, so we don't waste any more time. Shout out again to Marlo Newkirk. Appreciate you going to Death Gun Live's channel and subscribing. That name always gets you Weenie. Yeah, the Weenie Izzy. It's kind of a weird name. Top Gamer Boss, you better hang back, buddy. You guys are familiar with Top Gamer Boss. He's participated in some of my playlists earlier. You know, I would say within the past couple months, but also recently. I think he's participated in the past 2, and you know, a couple of them before that. So always love having Top Gamer with us. And just like I said, no hard feelings. What's going on right now? I just need to kind of get this done. I already feel like it's dragging on. So, no surprise there, the Prior is the fastest sports car still, at least on this track. The Neon, which we just raced, there we go, sports. I had to pay attention enough to turn that off. The Neon so far was faster than the new Flash GT by about half a second. It came in at, I think, 21.495, and then the Flash GT came in at, I think it was what, 21.9 something, so about half a second. So I'm actually just going to go back to check out the Neon stats. I'm not going to race the Neon again. I would just assume the most it could get is, you know, within another 0.2 higher as far as speed. So, but it's at least half a second faster as of right now. I think that's a pretty good cushion to go with. So, alright. So basically what's going on right now is the other car is just a little bit slower version of the Comet Custom based on traction and acceleration. Let me go ahead and check out the braking, because the top speed stat on this one actually does show, you know, that it is faster than the Flash GT. Fucking A. Looks like we're racing the Comet again. It's because, damn it, man. Top Gamer, man, I'm gonna kick you out again after this. That's the specific reason, man. So we'll go ahead and race this. We'll see what this second time is. Maybe it'll be a little bit faster. Like I said, maybe it could get up to 21, I don't know, 21.3. If that's the case, it'll be a 0.7 faster on this course than the new Flash GT. Okay, so that actually went a lot faster. It's good thing I raced at that time. I don't understand why there's such a big difference there. Last time it came in at 21.49. This time it's just a shade over 21. So that's actually pretty interesting because there are some supercars in the game that don't finish with that speed on that track. So unfortunately, well, actually not unfortunately, you know, they made this thing for a reason. Sometimes you gotta go ahead and take advantage of it. So again, Top Gamer, no hard feelings, but I gotta kick you again. Alright, so we'll move on and we'll go ahead and probably either do the Comet or the Hot Ring Saber, and then maybe that'll be all the cars. I'll go ahead and look through the list again. But like I was trying to get to right now, you see the Comet Custom. The only thing I need to check out is the braking versus the new car that came out. I'm already up top, so maybe I should have enough time to do whatever I want since I'm by myself. There we go. So the braking's pretty much the same. If not, I think the other one's actually a little bit better. So you can see this car is like just a little bit slower version of the Neon. Obviously this one looks different, has different customizations. Damn it, the GB, that one already. This is a nice car as well. So I would say, you know, that new car that came out is going to be very similar to the GB200. Let's go ahead and take this for a spin. The GB200 and the Neon, somewhere probably right in between. They all have pretty much acceleration maxed out, traction maxed out. The braking's pretty much at, you know, 2 full bars, and the speed's pretty much 4 bars with a little bit over. And the Neon actually, out of these 3 cars, had the most, well, the highest speed stat. So we got the speed burst at this time. I actually love this car. I kind of forgot about this car because I got so many damn cars, and I don't really, yeah, I don't even know. But this car is amazing. I love this car. So this car is very similar to that Vapid GT, I mean the Flash GT that came out today. So if you have this car, you have the Neon, and you're kind of struggling on cash, unless you desperately need to get the new car because you like the look of it or whatever, or you just have to have the new stuff. Alright, that one's pretty similar to the speed. I think the first time we raced the other one, we ended up getting a slower time, and then we ended up getting down to 22 even pretty much. So this one seems to be, let's just say, a little slower than the Flash GT, and the Neon is about a full second faster than both of these. So I could race the Neon, that GB200 again, and you know, could probably get it up maybe another maximum 0.3. So either way, it's gonna be roughly the same speed as that Flash GT that came out today. But I really love that car. That car is amazing around turns. What's up, Eric Bailey, also known as Country Pride, if I'm not mistaken, 218. He's also participated in a lot of the playlists recently, also a lot of the Give Cars to Friends or duplication glitch videos. So let's just turn that off for a safe measure. Alright, so we've raced the Pariah, we've raced the Flash GT, we've raced the Neon, we've raced the GB200. And we've also raced, yeah, maybe we didn't. Maybe that's what we raced. So that's a pretty good car if you have it. I would say if you're tight on cash, if you have that car, go ahead and keep it. It's probably going to be similar to the Flash GT, just a different style. The Neon's going to be pretty much faster than both of them. So if you have that one, go ahead and take it. We'll go ahead and look at this one. This one's kind of slower on the traction and the braking. Well, not slower. Has less of a stat on both of those. It's got a little bit more of more speed than that GB200 or the Flash GT, and pretty much the same speed as the Neon. So we'll go ahead and see if that holds up. Sometimes those speed stats that GTA puts up there isn't always accurate. So based on that stat, what the fuck? I guess I did it a GTA race. So we'll see if it comes in at around 21 flat. like the fastest time with the neon. So actually, this will be pretty interesting to see. I mean, this one... Okay, I thought I was going to say wrong way. I was going to say, just my luck. On my own race, I go wrong way when I can't go anywhere outside the friggin' checkpoint. It actually feels kind of slow, but I guess it's right in there at 21, just a little over 21. 21.2. I'm not going to go ahead and race it again. Let's just say that if I did race it again, I could get, you know, excuse me, just a little faster. So it would be maximum as fast as the neon, but the neon's going to give you a lot better braking and a lot better traction. Excuse me. So it's a little faster than the GB200, and you know, faster than the Flash GT. So I think I'm pretty much done. I think I'm going to go ahead and race one of the other Comets, possibly. If not, maybe I'll find another car, and we'll make that the last car of this sports car class. Because unfortunately now I know it's going to take me at least 20 minutes if I run through every car once on that 1 mile track. And I'm trying to, and believe me, I know I'm dragging it on, but I'm trying to really do this as quick as possible. They're just other car options that people could have that I'm trying to compare these cars to, so you kind of get an understanding, you know, what you're actually getting for the money compared to what you have. So then you can make a decision, is it worth it for you? Because a lot of these cars aren't worth getting, to be honest with you. I mean, I have a lot of them, but yeah, that just ends up being the problem. I mean, there's only so many cars you can have. That car's actually a great car for newer players. It's a really cheap car. Up until, I think, the Pariah came out, and the Neon and stuff like that, this car I was pretty much using a race with on the sports car class all the time. Now that I'm actually even talking about it, you know, I should include this one, but I'm not gonna. This one has pretty much the same speed stats as that Hot Ring Saber, but it's probably going to be faster than a Hot Ring Saber on that track. Low slot links, damn it. I'm not racing that one. Sorry, guys. I raced the Neon, the Pariah. That one's not worth racing on this track. That one has a great speed stat, but it got smoked by that Hot Ring Saber on that track, so I'm not even doing that. I'll pick one other car. I'll race it one time. And I think it's going to be one of the custom Comets, the original custom Comet. There's so many freaking cars in this class. Yeah, we'll go with this one. Why not? It's going to be faster than the Safari. So there's some people that still think that this is like I don't know why they think this is the fastest car in the game. I've heard it, well, not heard it, but I've read it a couple places on Facebook. People having arguments, and I actually did a test last week to confirm that there's no way in hell that this car is the fastest car in the game. Not even the fastest car in the sports cars. But we'll go ahead and check out. If I remember correctly, I think this one came in at like even like 23, maybe even 24 seconds on this course. Nope, 22 something. Probably about the same as all these cars that I've been racing right now. Yeah, about the same speed as the GB200. And the Flash GT. Okay, so that's the last car that we're racing on this track. I might not even race all these cars now that we know the certain speeds on this compared to what the mile we should expect. Want to give a shout out to Jet Cargo, who I guess just sent me a message a little while ago. Also appeared in the chat. Colby Orton. Yeah, you know, I understand, but it doesn't really make sense to send you an invite to the party if you're not going to talk. You know, appreciate the offer though. I'm glad that there's people actually that want to join me. You know, no hard feelings or anything. I'm just trying to get through this and without any complications at all, possibly. Alright, so here we go. Damn it. You know, sometimes I'm just a fucking idiot. But it doesn't matter, actually. I'm going to back out of this anyway. At some point I had to do it. I forgot that I was on that that same track. Excuse me. Forgot I was on the same track. I'm trying to move it over to the 1 mile track. And I promise I'll get through this at some point tonight. You know, what time is it here? 1:19. I don't even know what time I started, but please don't say it was 12 o'clock. Because that'll be way too long for a live stream. Alright. At least we were able to start that up without somebody killing us and delaying things. So again, for anybody in the comments, I'm still kind of on the fence if I'm going to buy that Sea Breeze, which is the new helicopter that came out today that can land on water and shoot missiles. If you guys want to go ahead and see me buy it, or you want to see it included in one of the live streams tonight, go ahead and let me know. Or if you want me to just go ahead and buy the Weenie Izzy, and that will be a lot quicker of a live stream. And then I'm going to try to either get to a playlist, or I'm going to try and see if there's an easier give cars to friends or car duplication glitch, and help you guys out similar to what I've been doing the past couple weeks. And you know, we just did one the other day, helped out a handful of people. I think each time we were giving out about 5 cars. So we'll try and get into that. Let me know, would you rather see the Sea Breeze customization video, or get into a playlist, or a you know, give cars to friends? So this is the 1 mile track. Some things could change as far as the faster cars, you know, versus that 0.63 mile. The way all my other tests have gone, there has been a change. So this is in the beginning of the list. Let's just go ahead and race this one because we raced it last time. So there should be some changes as far as the faster cars versus the 2 different tracks. So we'll see what we get for a number here. I'm gonna assume that this is gonna be somewhere around 34. If the numbers from all the other cars that have raced around 22, when they transfer over to this 1 mile track, I think the cars usually fit in somewhere around, yeah, around 30, 33, 34 as an average. Some cars obviously outperform on the longer track than the shorter, so the numbers are really drastic compared to the shorter track. But on an average, 22 on the other track usually equals about a 33, 34. Yeah, 33, almost 33.7. So, you know, the information from these 2 tracks are pretty accurate. You know, that's why people always start quoting somebody else and saying that the cars are performing really shitty, where when I race them, they actually perform pretty decent compared to what other people say. Again, I can only go by what I'm looking at and what I'm doing right now. And again, these might be a little bit longer tests than some other people do. Maybe that's why the numbers are different. But at these lengths, these are pretty accurate. Although there will be that one car that raced, 22 seconds on the shorter track and not come in at the average of like 23.5 or 24. It might come in at 22. Some cars really surprise you how they keep their speed and their acceleration, keeps going up the longer that they're racing in a straightaway. And again, the Tesseract, excuse me, the Tesseract and the Pfister 811 are 2 examples of that. Those cars probably race in like mid 21.5 on that first track, but then, like I said, the 811 comes in at 28 seconds, where a lot of the other cars are finishing at like 32. Like the Pariah finishes at like 32.5. And that's like the next fastest car, so it's kind of crazy how there's a big discrepancy. So let's go ahead and race this one. There's the second fastest car on that other track after the Pariah. So this one should be probably, if it's an average for what it ran on the other one, probably low 33, maybe even like 32.8, 32.9. Possibly, it could even be quicker than that, or it could be slower. It could just bottom out at a certain point. Like right there, it's really lagging through the gears. Like the Pfister 811 on this one it's whining the whole entire time. It seems like if there was 15 gears, it would go through all of them. Yeah, so this is going to be a little slower than what I would think it would match up with versus what it came in. See, this is why you get kind of surprised sometimes. So this was the second fastest car on that first track, and it's probably going to be one of the slowest cars on this track. So this one finished at like just a little over 21 on the shorter track, and we just raced that Comet Custom, and that came in at basically 22.2 on the short track, and then it finished at 33.7 on the longer track. So the other one was a second faster on the short track, and you know, almost 2 seconds slower on the longer track, and it's only a difference of a 0.4 of a mile, or 0.4 of a mile. Yeah. So things do change as you go. So I'm assuming that there's going to be cars, if you did like a 10-second race, that are going to be, you know, higher up on the list. And I guess that might be what's more important, you know, because you don't really have half a mile or mile straightaways, but this kind of gives you an idea, because there are some races that do have these. So it does help out in my eyes. I mean, things do match up. Good thing I noticed that I have it on supers. I do notice when I do my own races that there's certain cars that I'll specifically pick for certain races, you know, based on the strengths of the car. Like if there's a lot of turns, I'm not picking a fifth straight 11, because I'll just be spinning around like a top the whole damn time. But if it's you know, one of those custom races where it's like basically like a 19-mile run down the highway, I'll go ahead and pick the fifth straight 11, because it usually passes a lot of cars as we go. So that's just one race for that one. I mean, even if I race it again, coming in at 35, what the fastest it's going to come in, just say take a second off, 34, it's still the slowest car so far, and most likely I would say out of all these cars that we race. Another car, actually, for those new players out there, it's really cheap. This was the car I raced in before I got the Jester. Actually, this is a pretty good car as well. And then once I got some more money and started winning some more races, I ended up getting the Jester, and I just kept rocking the Jester for the longest time until the Pariah came out, basically. So those two are pretty good poor man's cars. They still beat some of the top cars if you have some skill as well, which we hope you do if you're racing. If not, I hope you're just having fun, kind of like what I do. Did I race this one yet? No, I didn't. It's next on the list. So here we go. We'll race this one twice since it's a new car. We'll give this one some love, you know, get my 1.7 million worth back, so maybe I don't have to just, well, I'll probably end up duping it anyway and just selling it, which is a smart thing to do. I don't mean to go off subject, but we got some time while it loads in. Anybody who does those dupe glitch videos, this would be a perfect situation. You go out and buy the new car, whether you like it or you don't like it. When you do one of those give cars to friends or, you know, solo dupe glitches, go ahead and dupe a copy of the car back to yourself. You'll have to keep the copy because you can't sell it unless it's a Benny's car, and then you just basically sell this original one that I bought today for 1.7. You know, when I go ahead and sell it, I'll probably get a million, 1.2 for it. You know, and then I'll just go ahead and keep the copy, which will be an exact identical of the car. Or if you get it from a friend duped to you, then you just go ahead and customize it the way you want. And just go ahead and do that with all your expensive cars that you got. I mean, it works better when you get cars that are like 2 million, because then you can get like 1.6, 1.4, $2 million back. Then it ends up being like 2 LG Retro Customs. But either way, it's a good way to, I'm a little loose on this. It's a good way to get your money back. So I gotta watch out. I'm pulling off to the right a little bit. I know I got these rocks coming up, and then I got some rocks on the left. I don't know why I did this. I tried to make the straightest course I could out here in the water, and unfortunately there was some things included. So we'll see what we get for a speed for this. 33.7 was the fastest speed so far out of the cars we raced, and that was the Neon. Okay, this is pretty slow as well. So over the longer distance, this does not get better. This is actually the slowest car. So the Neon was a second faster on the shorter track, and this one is almost, you know what, a second to a 0.7 slower on the longer track. So it's not looking good for this Flash GT at the moment. only because I already have a Neon, and I already have some other cars that perform the same as it or better on a shorter track, you know, and I would say most of the longer straightaways would probably be around the half-mile mark. There are some that are obviously longer than a mile, but there's not so many, you know, mile straightaways. But there are a lot of races that have, like, you know, half a mile straightaway and then just a little turn and then another half-mile straightaway. So some of those races, you know, you can be strategic and make sure you pick out the faster cars on the shorter track there. So that was kind of disappointing. You know, I already bought the car, but for people out there, like I said, if you had a Neon, you know, the Neon basically was faster on the shorter track and still a little bit faster on the longer track. So you could get it. I mean, you could go ahead and just throw out the money if you want to get the new car, like I said. Or if you really like the style of the car, then go ahead and get it. It's not a bad car. You'll still be able to compete with all those other cars I mentioned, because we're only talking about half a second to 1 second faster or slower, and you know, you can always make that up depending on how you race. So I'm actually not going to race that again, because the fastest it's going to go up is a 0.9 or a full second, and that'll still be 35. So we're just trying to figure out the best cars to keep, or, you know, decide what you have compared to what you're going to get for that car. So we'll see how this one does. This one was what, basically 22 and change. The highest, I think, 22.2 or 22.3, which is right up there with most of those other cars that we raced so far today. I don't know if I got such a speed burst right there. It didn't really look like it. But we'll see. Again, I just love this car. This car is great, you know, making escapes on the street or just riding around, because it's so small that you can avoid, you know, a lot of things, a lot of collisions in front of you, or, you know, trees or whatever the hell you're racing on or racing with, or just, like I said, cruising around the city. Almost got taken out by that fucking wave that somehow came up through my concrete friggin' platform. But I guess that, oh man, they're getting slower and slower. I guess how fast can this car be over the long run? I mean, the size of the motor is probably the size of a friggin' golf cart, considering there's no way to put it in the car. But it's still a great car. I love this car. This car kind of reminds me of the Shitaro. The way that thing just stays, you know, top speed around turns. That's very similar to this car. I mentioned that earlier when I did the when I bought the car and did the customization of it. So I still like that car, no matter if it was the slowest on the longer track or not. It's still right up there with all those other cars on that, you know, track that's a little longer than half a mile, and that's usually a pretty good assessment, or what you can really expect in the game is those half a mile straightaways. So we're gonna fly through this because I'm only gonna race these once, unless there's some cars that are like really that close to each other. Then we'll go ahead and race them both just to kind of test things out, just to make sure we have a clear winner on this track. And I think it's going to be the Pariah. I don't think any of these other cars are going to match the Pariah on this course. I think the Pariah should come in at, like, yeah, I don't want to say it and sound like an idiot, but I'm pretty sure that the 811 was about 3 seconds faster. So I'm going to say the Pariah is going to be somewhere around between 32 and 32.5. So we'll check out the Hot Ring Sabre, see how this engine keeps up over the long haul. It didn't perform all that great on the short. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It was just a little slower than the Neon, but the Neon has better control. So if you're, you know, doing races other than those Hot Ring Sabre races, you know, I would pick another supercar. I mean, another sports car if you have it, like the GB, the Neon, the Pariah. I guess that all depends on the control, or how good you are, because it's fast as fuck, but it's sloppy as hell too. So even that Comet, the Comet Custom, the one that probably everybody has, one of the original Benny's cars, you know, don't hit the rock, that car performed pretty much the same as like the GB200, the Flash GT, all those cars on that first track, and you know, pretty similar to those on this track as well. So if you have that and that's what you race with because you can't afford anything else, then you know, you might be better off just keeping that. You're not going to really get much more of an advantage with the new car, unless, you know, you really need that extra traction, because I think it has, you know, that's basically all it has on the Comet Custom, is it has a little bit more traction. So the Hot Ring Saber, probably in the middle of the pack of all those cars that are raced on this track. The Neon, the GB200, the Flash GT, that Hot Ring Saber, all pretty much similar. Oh, the Comet Custom as well. They were all in that 35 range, low 35 to high 35. Pretty pathetic, to be honest with you. But believe it or not, there's even some supercars that come in at 35. So we should be wrapping this up hopefully within 10 minutes. I apologize. The next one I'm going to do is the Weenie Izzy, and that one's not going to be nearly as long, so I'm probably not going to go ahead and race that one, because I don't think that car is going to be a race car. I think that's more of just a car to fuck around with and, you know, drive around. They might have some races similar to like the Hot Ring races for that one as well. But we'll see what class it's in. It'll probably get smoked in whatever class. I mean, that one's got to have a friggin' engine like an RC car. They had no room. They had to put the seats in, and then there was no room for anything else. 9-volt batteries running that thing. Alright, so let's get through this. Let's go in order. I'm not going to race the Jester, although I need to update my sports car class, because I didn't include the Jester and the Corvette there, the Coquette or whatever the hell it's called. And those are actually good for people that, you know, kind of are on a budget that already have them. Did we already race the Neon? For some reason, I want to say we did. No, we didn't. Maybe we did, but we're doing it again. I could have swore we did this one and it came in at 35. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking of something else. Let's go ahead and race this one. This was the, or maybe I'm getting confused with another car. This one was the second fastest. Yeah, because I remember having this conversation. It was the second fastest on the first course behind the prior at 21 seconds. Part of me remembers doing this, part of me doesn't. So we'll see. I thought it ran the same speed as most of those other cars, 35 seconds. Yeah, it feels like it's going slow, man. It feels like an electric car right now. Maybe we didn't race it. Or maybe we did and it was just a shade over 35, because I was going to say that no car has gotten under 34, but it wasn't like it was 34.5. It was just 34.9, so running this, if this was a second time, it could be, you know, 0.2 faster. So we'll just say right now, out of the cars we raced, it is the fastest car. Even if I did race it the second time, it was probably the fastest car out of all of them. It was probably about 35 flat. All the other cars were like 35.5, 35.9, 35.7. So we'll just say still it is the fastest out of all those cars on both tracks right now, based on the numbers. So if you have the Neon, you know, it's a pretty good car, I would say, compared to all those other ones that we've been racing. And specifically that Flash GT. So I really think there might only be one car left, maybe, and it's the Prior, which is going to be the fastest car. Probably by 2.5 seconds, roughly. Or actually 2 to 3 seconds. Let me just look through here. See if there's any other ones that I'm going to be racing. No, because then it gets to the regular ones. So we're going to go ahead with the Prior, which is going to be the final car that we're going to race. And then I'm going to probably take like a couple minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with that Weenie Izzy that came out, which is basically like the classic Mini that came out sometime, you know, 4 decades ago. But yeah, we'll make that one really quick. I'm not gonna do any speed tests on it, I don't think. I'll look at the speed stat. If it's not even close, if it's just like one of those cars just fuck around and then I won't do any tests. But if the speed stats are actually pretty comparable with some of the other cars in this class, I may go ahead and do a little customization and, you know, maybe just race against one or two cars, but hopefully not. I want to get into something else. So again, if I'm not mistaken, this one should be about 32, between 32 and 32.5. Could possibly even get into 31. No. Alright, so basically almost right in the middle of what I thought, between 32 and 32.5. So that's clearly the fastest sports car in the game. I don't think there's a need to race it again because it's by far the fastest. The fastest time we got other than that was the Neon, where we just raced. It was 34.9. And that was, you know, 32.2. So it's a full 2.7 seconds faster than the next fastest car on this longer straightaway, and it was faster on the shorter one. So let me go free mode real quick. So yeah, that's gonna be it. My thoughts on the Flash GT. I mean, I still like the car, you know, but I don't know if it's a car that I'm gonna go ahead and test it out in a race, obviously, and try to compare it to how I feel with other cars as well. But I don't think it's a necessity to get this car. Like, I don't think you're going to be at a disadvantage if you don't get it, especially considering if you have the GB200, or if you have obviously the Pariah, or you have the Neon, or even like the Comet Retro Custom, or the Comet SR. That's what I did. I raced the Comet SR before, and that was 35 and change. And then I raced the Neon. That's what I got those two cars confused with. So either way, the car is pretty cool. It's a different kind of style of car. You might like that more than other cars, and maybe you need to go out and get it. But I would say if you're strapped on cash and you want to make a good decision, if you have some of those other cars, like I said, then, you know, go ahead and maybe stay with those cars. If you are trying to upgrade from like a Jester or one of those, you know, lower end cars, and you're wanting to buy a car that you're going to be able to race with, you know, the Pariah I think is a little cheaper than this car. But if you want a little bit more traction, you know, maybe go with this car, or get that Neon, or the Comet SR, and you know, go ahead and see how things work out. I didn't even see that rock. I was gonna try and take it off road, but yeah, I don't want to take too much time. I'm gonna go ahead and end this. So for all you guys that showed up, I appreciate you guys. Let me go ahead and just look at the chat real quick. I'm gonna take about a 5 or 10 minute pause, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start up the next stream, where I'm going to buy that Weenie Izzy that came out. So we have Mr. Don't Clickbait for the win popped in. We have Marlo Newkirk. We have Randy Sylar. We have Death Gun Live. And let me see, Eric Bailey, Colby Orton. Let me just check out some of these comments here. I'm always watching. I appreciate that, Randy. Give cars to friends. Okay. That's one that we want. It's dope. It's not better than the Pariah. Yeah, I agree. I like the car, but as far as racing, you know, maybe, I mean, I don't know. I'll go ahead and check it out, but it's pretty comparable to the Comet SR or the Neon, I would say. James Williams, okay, my fault. Didn't mean to slight you here. I think I'll get it on sale. It's quite unique. Yeah, I understand. That's what I'm saying too, and it appeals to you. That's why I could definitely see people that really like these like rally sports or rally races, and been kind of waiting for a car like this to come out, because it is kind of, you know, one of its kind. There are a couple other cars that are somewhat similar, but not even close in a way. So it is definitely unique. It still does have a nice design. You can really customize the hell out of it, I think, with the livery and all that. So if you got the cash, go ahead and get it. Like I said, if you're strapped, you know, it'll still be a pretty good purchase, because what you lack in the top speed that you saw in the test, you'll definitely make up for in the acceleration and in traction. So I'm not saying it's going to be a bad purchase. I'm just saying, like, if you were in my position, you had the cars that I had that I just raced with, you know, you necessarily wouldn't need to go out and get it, because you have some cars that are basically right there. And I did mention, unless it's something where you have to get it because you just need this car because of the way it looks, then, you know, more power to you. Go out and get it. Sell those other cars if you're strapped in cash, and go ahead and get this car. Yeah, James, appreciate you popping in the stream. Thanks for the support, man. Really means a lot. I think I'll get it on sale. It's quite unique and appeals to me, but it's still too expensive. Yeah, I kind of hear you. I mean, 1.7 is expensive, especially if you're not somebody who races a lot. You know, for me, the reason now when I'm looking at cars and cars that I really like is usually what cars am I going to use to race with, and what courses would they help me out. But I know not everybody's a racer out there, so yeah, it gets kind of expensive when you have, like $50 million just sitting in your garage and you can only drive one car at a time. That's where it really comes in handy to know, like, what you're going to get for the car. But I guess at that point it really doesn't matter because it's basically just all on style, I guess, if you're just driving around the city to escape from, people or go from job to job. But yeah, it's definitely a different option. It's a cool car. You can definitely get some nice options with it as far as color wise. I think if you put a little bit more thought into it, I actually don't think that's all that bad. But yeah, enough about that. So I'm going to take a little bit of time. I'll come back with the Weenie Izzy. We'll go ahead and rock that one real quick. And that'll be a lot quicker than this one. And then, I haven't really seen anybody want to see the that Sea Sparrow. And to be honest with you, I'm not necessarily wanting to see it in my garage, my hangar either. So that actually works out perfect. So I think that's what I'll go ahead and do. Maybe I'll do that Sea Sparrow tomorrow if I decide to go ahead and buy it or whatever. But we're going to do the Weenie Izzy. Then I'm going to look for some things to get into. I'm going to, mess around on YouTube a little bit to see if there's an easy to give cars to friends or solo dupe glitch or semi-solo dupe glitch where I can help you. And then, possibly I could do that. Or I might even start up the Doomsday 2 heist. Well, I already started up. I only got a couple setups left, but I've been mentioning that for those people that don't have money to do dupes or that don't want to do dupes, that need a good way to get some cash, I can keep replaying that Doomsday 2 heist finale, and I think I can give you, I think it's about $900,000 to $1 million every time. I think it only takes about 15 to 20 minutes with all the loading screens and everything, so it's pretty easy. It's a pretty good way to hook you guys up. So maybe I'll possibly go ahead and do that, or like I said, a playlist or some kind of glitch video. So I appreciate you guys for stopping by. As I mentioned before, not too far from 1,000 subs. Once I get there, I got a big giveaway going on. I'm going to host an event. Not sure exactly what I'm going to be doing in the event. I've already been thinking of some of the questions and some of the little in-game interactive things where I might have a certain... I'll give you something, for instance, which I think I want to do, and I know a couple of guys have been joking about it, and we actually kind of did it one time after a playlist, but Microwave Fish, big shout out to him, ended up just jumping in one of those buses that you get, like I would say RIPTA, but not many people outside of the U.S. know what RIPTA is, or actually RIPTA is Rhode Island Transportation Authority, okay, so not many people outside of Rhode Island would know what RIPTA is, but those big transit buses, almost like a Greyhound, they have those in the game, and Fish jumped on one, and just started randomly driving around, picking up all the players that were in the playlist that, once we went back into a public lobby, we were kind of all together. And he just started picking people up and picked up like 5 of us. And then I think he picked up some random person. And then after that, somebody blew us up. So just to give you an example, one of the questions is going to be like, well, there's going to be a 2-part question just to break any kind of tie for the win. First part's going to be, how many players are we actually going to be able to pick up in different locations on the map with somebody driving the bus? And hopefully it's Microwave Fish because he fits that role perfectly. So we'll have Microwave Fish, hopefully if he can join us, driving the bus around, going to random spots on the map, picking up players, and trying to see how many players he can actually pick up before the fucking bus just totally gets exploded. And then also the time it takes before we get blown up. So like say if you think it's going to take 2 minutes, and whether he picks up anybody or nobody, and the time it takes that bus to get blown up could be in the first 20 seconds, could take 5 minutes. Obviously, I think at some point we might try to defend ourselves, because when there's 5 people rocking around on a bus, I think it's going to draw a lot of attention. So, for example, that's going to be possibly 1 or 2 gift cards given out just for that specific little scenario. And I got a bunch of other little things that I got, written down that I'm going to go ahead and utilize. So we can kind of make things interesting. It can be interactive. A lot of them are going to be like, guess how long it takes for this person to die, or guess how many... I don't want to give too much information other than that, but that's how it's going to be kind of run. I'm going to try and make it as fun as possible for everybody involved. I'm really looking forward to it. And the last thing I want to say before I end this stream is, once I get to 1,000 subs, I can actually stop putting advertisements in my videos. I know nobody likes to hear that because they're a drag and they're a pain in the ass, so I apologize ahead of time. But the big thing about that is, once I start getting some money in from advertisements, what I'm going to go ahead and do is hold a lot more playlists. And I've been doing all these giveaways that I've done in the past, just basically out of my pocket. A lot of people ask me all the time when they join me for the first time in chats, like, how much do you make? And I'm like, I don't make a damn thing, dude. I'm not big enough to make money. And people are kind of surprised that people put as much time in to really not get anything. But I actually like doing this, to be honest with you. The most time I have fun when I play these games is when I'm doing live streams. More times than not, it's not when I'm talking to myself. These aren't the most fun, but I mean, I guess I'm interacting with you guys. I have had some people join the chat, which I appreciate. But I always have fun when I do those playlists or the give cause to friends or any of those types of things. So I just want to let you guys know I really appreciate you. So just for the little inconvenience of those commercials popping in there, and I'm not going to spam them like some other people and put like 5 or 8 of them in there. I'm going to keep it kind of basic, just enough to maybe get some little cash rolling in. But as I said, I've already given out tons of money just out of my pocket. So just think how things are going to be once I'm actually making some money off of people that are supporting me by watching the videos. So we're going to go ahead and make that happen, man. We're going to make things interesting, and I think things for the future are going to be bright as hell once we, reach 1,000 subs. So I appreciate you guys that have been there along the way, whether you just joined today, my first day, or, halfway along the way. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you back in a little bit, and we'll get that one done a lot quicker, and then we'll get into something a little bit more fun for you guys to participate in, whether it's getting millions or beating my ass in a race. So thanks again. I'll see you guys in a little while.